How's everybody doing? In order to avoid the constant problems I have on my computer, I am making the video on my phone again. Had some real problems with clarity. Some of that we might blame on the solar stuff. Unfortunately, I am not able to turn the comments off when making this on my phone. Well, I can turn the comments off, but I can't restrict it and put it on subscription mode only. So hello and welcome to whoever is here. Right. There is quite a lot of amazing energy on this planet. And unfortunately, it's stirring the pot in ways that I know you and I are both feeling. So just like when we have this positive inundation of solar influx on the planet, it highlights or pushes up whatever we need to let go of. Maybe it's sorrow, maybe it's anger, maybe it's grief. Fill in the blank where you see necessary. I just got off the phone with a very long conversation with someone that I've been friends with for a long time, even though we have never met. And I debated doing this and not doing this for the last 3 days for a multitude of reasons. One of the people in my life that has hit their own internal self-destruct button is trying to destruct my life. So let's talk about this dance with the devil. And when I say devil, I mean people who have a built up, aggressive, negative energy that permanently resides within the body, within the cells of the body, and within the water of the body also. Some of those choosing to do this to you, to me, to others are here and they are watching. That's one of the reasons I've been turning the comments off, is so that I am not distracted on video by what I am being distracted with in my home. We are in the middle of a chess tournament, and I was never a chess player, but everyone knows in poker and chess, when you're in the middle of the game, there's no talking across the table. Okay? So I'm going to vaguely talk across the table at you for those that are watching me for nefarious reasons. I know there's a part of this community that doesn't believe in speaking up to the negativity. I know that there's a part of this community that believes in suppressing it or ignoring it or riding a unicorn in the sixth dimension and pretending that it's not there. We are in the middle of a chess tournament. No talking across the table. Is it okay for me to be pissed? Is it okay for you to be pissed? Is it okay for me to be angry? Is it okay for us to be angry? Is it okay for me to show up here and tell you that everything going on in my life that is pushing a negative energy or having a negative attack on me, is it okay for me to show up and just tell you all of that? Is it okay for me to feel like things are out of control? Is it okay for you to feel like things are out of control? Do you feel like things are out of control? In the middle of a chess tournament, there is no talking across the table. There are many of us that feel out of control when it comes to the things in our life that are surrounding us. The intensity that we're experiencing when leaving these things behind, I know I'm not the only one experiencing this because I just got off the phone with someone else that was experiencing this. And honestly, you guys, I debated for the last 3 days whether to even talk about this. The intensity of leaving it all behind, the intensity of having faith that we will be taken care of, that we will have a place to live, that we will have good people in our life when we walk away from everything that isn't those things. How do we confront the devil? And that probably should have been the name of this video. But what overrides that for me, even more than that, is the intensity of leaving it all behind. We all have a story. And I honestly have thought about taking the story of the place where I live and making it a mini series on TikTok because it's unreal and it's unbelievable. Do we want to dance with the devil? Do we want to disengage? How do we confront the devil? And I am not talking from a religious sense here about how we deal with the devil. My reference to the devil means people walking around with a built up, energetic festivity, anger, resentment, hurt, and pain that is permanent. We all have days that are painful. We all have days where our festivity is grand and at large. We all have days when we are angry. We have days when we are disappointed. And there's a large part of the spiritual community that heavily believes that we should ride a unicorn in another dimension. But I'm here to tell you that's not the case. How do we confront the devil? And again, this is not a religious connotation. When I say the devil, I mean the built up, angry disposition of people within their body, within their bones, within their cellular makeup, within their water. The whole of them is hurt, angry, and crying out for help. Now, I personally don't subscribe to the fact that I might be angry or disappointed one day, therefore I'm failing at my job. We all have a story. We all have a story, and we all have a job to do. There are many people that would prefer us not to do the job that we came to do. There are many people that would wish the planet would not ascend as a whole. There are many people that are working behind the scenes unwillingly in the capacity of the devil. And when I say working in the capacity of the devil, I mean working to irritate, agitate, and be aggressive with humanity, whether that's their partner, their neighbor, someone in the grocery store, or someone on social media on the other side of the world. How do we confront the devil? When we disengage from that energy in our house, in the store, in our marriage, wherever that may be for you, when we disengage and watch, that dark energy will implode in on itself. But it only works if we disengage from it. If I made every video on here from the same standpoint of talking about anger and talking about how we deal with the devil and who is watching me and being in the middle of this strategic, mind game, that is going on with me and so many of you. How do we confront the built up negativity held at a cellular level in other human beings? It doesn't matter how nice you are. It doesn't matter what you do for people or how you want to help people or try to help people or do help people. If they are at a cellular level being held in anger and aggression, in fear, in distrust, there is nothing that you can do in that situation other than disengage. So, how we confront the devil is in not confronting the devil. Sometimes that means not answering the phone, not filling out paperwork, not responding to text messages. That can mean a lot of different things depending on who you are and what you're going through. But the intensity of leaving all of this behind is that we have to learn to detach and disengage from those who are this way at a cellular level. Okay, I'm not talking about whether someone wants to be helped or not. We've all been in these experiences with people where we have made every attempt to help them and they are still angry, they are still bitter, they are still scarred. And we have all been through some amazing and incredible and traumatic and life altering situations. All of us. But the only way we watch this built up, pent up, aggressive energy within others dissipate is to disengage and watch that dark energy implode on itself. We are in the middle of a chess tournament. No talking across the table. When I thought about making this video, I thought, I could tell the story, the whole story, the truth, and nothing but the truth, and swear on the Holy Bible. I could have come here. I could have done that. Suffice it to say, I'm not going to do that. But what I want you to know is that disengaging from that devil energy to watch it implode is not easy. It's a fine line between knowing when we stand up for ourselves, knowing when we stand up against that dark energy that wishes to take down the light not only of the planet, but of the planet's inhabitants. And on a larger scale, there is a group of people that wish to control, usurp, manipulate this planet in a very dark way. So that's one side of the coin. But the other side of the coin is everything they're doing to make that happen is having an effect on people that are already in pain, that are already wounded, that are already traumatized. Okay. And so the big plan trickles down, right? Not trickle down economics. It's a trickle down devilish anger that's held at a cellular level. It trickles down into the little people in your lives, in your neighborhood, in your building, perhaps in your own family, that then seek to destroy the good, that which is in you. And I know this is not a popular thing to talk about because in this community of love and light, we feel that disengaging somehow and riding a unicorn in the sixth dimension is going to make everything go away. And there's nothing wrong with having the emotion of fear. There's nothing wrong with having the emotion of anger, the emotion of disappointment, the emotion of grief or loss or regret. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's the other thing in this community. There is, if you're angry, you're not doing good. You're not on your rightful ascension path. But we can't ignore anger and disengage. What I'm suggesting that we disengage from is the dark energy. When we disengage from that dark energy, it is and it will implode on itself. Now, when I'm referring to dark energy, I'm referring to an energy that is cold, manipulative, fear, pain, all of these things on a permanent. Our vibration is always in constant fluctuation. You are not here on a vibration and stay here. You bounce around all day long. You could have a really good day, something really disappointing could happen, something could make you really angry, and that's not what I mean by dealing with the devil energy. There is a portion of people on this planet that wish to control and manipulate the planet, and they are doing that in hundreds of thousands of ways, and that is trickling down into these other people that are not situationally angry, right? We all get angry and have disappointment, all of that. That does not stop the ascension path. But we have to look within ourselves and say, why am I really disappointed? What is this showing me? Why am I really angry? What is this showing me? So when I'm saying disengaging with the devil and how do we confront the devil, I'm speaking of those people on the planet, in your family, in your building, in your neighborhood, at your favorite pub, that are constantly in a state of anger, frustration, fear. Okay? They are retaliating, thinking that they can somehow make up for their evil ways or their negative ways or their negative disposition by taking that out on other people. All that built up negativity in the human body and the intensity of leaving all of this behind. We all have a story and we all have a job to do. If I would have told you my story, I would have been on here for 3 hours. Like I said, I am not going to do that. The reason why I didn't make this video 3 days ago was because I didn't know how to talk about it in a balanced way. I didn't want to not give any information whatsoever, and I didn't want to come on here and give my whole story, my next move on the chessboard, when we're in the middle of a chess game and there's no talking across the table. It is important for us to swiftly move on by disengaging from these people. For me, this is a hard thing to do because when someone comes at me, for example, and says, I need such and such information from you, for example, or I need you to do this, or I need to explain yourself. I very much believe in clear communication, so I fell for that the first multitude of times. Okay, let's leave it at that. But no matter what I said, no matter what my reply to this situation was, it was ignored. It was disregarded. And just not answered. Ever. Okay? I have some very, very unpleasant energies wishing to take me down in any way they possibly can. And I tell you right now that that energy is going, that darkness within that person trying to take me down, it's coming back to them. And I'm going to watch that darkness implode on that person that is doing this to me. Yeah, they are not on the rising path. It's the understatement of the year, for sure. It's very hard, I think, when we get to the point where we want to be clear and we want to communicate well with other people and we want to be respectful. And for a while, my disengagement meant that I wasn't sticking up for myself at all. And then I thought, this is totally freaking crazy. Why am I not talking back? Why am I not standing up for myself? As my parents taught me, you know, you don't talk back to every person, you don't give every person lip, and you don't take up argument with every little thing that comes your way. But you don't let people, and they said, I don't care if it's a teacher, a police officer, a judge, I don't care who it is. My parents said, you don't keep allowing someone to push you and push you and push you and push you. Okay? Does somebody want to push me out of my home? They most certainly do. Are they trying everything in the book to make that happen? They most certainly are. It's going to come back to you. It's coming back on to the person that's ditching it out. You think your life is so boring and uneventful and barren, so you want to take it out on those that want to take care of themselves and take care of this planet. And it's just not going to work. It's aggravating. It's frustrating. I've shed many tears over the situation because it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter that I've lived here for 3 years and taken care of this building and done the landscaping and everything else. Nothing matters. It's all someone's dark energy being projected at me. Last night when I put the music on at 7:25 in the evening to work out, there's banging on my floor. I said, just keep banging. I'll just keep turning the music up louder. And I screamed that through the floor. I have to know better than that. I have to disengage, right? Because as long as I'm giving energy, these people dancing around in this devil energy, masquerading themselves as something different and dancing around in that devil energy, all that built up negativity, all those disappointments, those angers, those resentments, those fears that things didn't work out. Well, guess what? Everybody on this planet has those things. It's just a matter of how we deal with it. How are we going to deal with our story? We all have a story, and we all have a job to do. We all came here to do that job. And right now, that job is disengaging with the dark energy so that it will self-implode. Because while I give energy to this situation, and I didn't even want to give this situation enough energy even to make this video, but it's important because I've talked to a couple people this week that are having, though different circumstances, it's the same thing. The rising frequency, when the sun comes in and does its beautiful job, it makes us feel awesome. Then it pushes everything out. That's not pleasant. But we are doing that more than just within our bodies. We are doing that on a planetary scale. And there are people, there are beings, there are even entities attached to people that don't want to see that happen. Well, I don't really care what you want to see happen because I have a story and it doesn't involve the aggression of these people who wish to take us down in that way. I have a story, but more importantly, I have a job to do. And if it's on the world stage, if it's your partner, if it's a person at the grocery store, if it's a person at your local pub, wherever this devil energy, this built up negativity, traumatized shit's coming from within them, there's nothing you can do about that. That's something they have to decide to do for themselves. Okay. And I think we all know that. We've known that for a while. But when it comes to family and friends, we have been very lenient. Okay. This is very, very very intense. This leaving it all behind is the most intense part of ascension I have ever seen. Where am I going to go? How am I going to pay rent? And I'm not talking about me, okay? I'm talking about all of us. How are we going to make this work? The only thing way we're gonna make it work is with our faith and belief that it's going to work. And it's weird, but there was an album I started listening to a couple of days ago called Coco Moon by Owl City. They are the most jovial, God believing, pleasant, young, lyrical masterpieces I've ever heard. Okay. And some of it sounds, a lot of people probably won't like it. It sounds very juvenile, but I need juvenile happy right now. I really do. But there's a song on the on Owl City's album, Coco Moon, and the refrain is "Help is on the way, help is on the way." And for whatever reason, I only listened to, I've never heard that album until a couple of days ago, and that got stuck in my head, and that was a gift from God itself right there. Because if anyone else is, we've all experienced that where things get stuck in our head, but it was the perfect thing to get stuck in my head because I've been walking around for 3 days straight saying, help is on the way. Help is on the way. I know help is on the way. There are many of us, some of us all facets of reality, some of us just relationships, some of us just work, some of us just cohabitational existence. We are all going through this very intense thing of leaving it all behind and disengaging from that dark energy. Okay. So it doesn't matter if this is your partner, this is your boss. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, the Illuminati themselves. If we keep engaging with it, it's going to be here forever and ever and ever. What we're doing right now as a part, as a puzzle piece, as an individual, with a story and with a job to do, we're all playing this piece in bringing down the roots of love, joy, transparency into the foundation of our lives by leaving it all behind. But we're doing the exact same thing globally. The way I will say that some people are being attacked is if they had actually done something. Okay, some people are being attacked on a scale that is absolutely unbelievable, and it's happening for no 3D reason. I want you to know that. If we do not disengage from this dark energy, it will never collapse in on itself as long as we continue to feed it. And I can tell you personally and interpersonally, this has been the hardest thing that I've ever gone through in my entire life. Because like my parents taught me, you only take so much before you stand up for yourself. But there's a part of this where standing up for yourself against the devil, against the human body built on, at a cellular level, grief, trauma, fear, sadness, all of this, it doesn't make a difference how you stand up for yourself, how you talk back, how you show paperwork or visas or proof of insurance or whatever it is that you're going through. It doesn't make a bit of difference in the third dimension, because this attack is not coming from the third dimension. I want you to know that. Thank you for being here, you guys. I have not looked at your comments. The story that you have, that I have, that we all have, the job that I have, that you have, that we all have, is ascension. Okay, and plain and simple, this is a way for it to stop. And on a higher level, on a bigger, more worldview, more organized way, it's very, very, very intentional. From the people around you that are not disengaging, I don't know any other way to say that. The people that around you that are engaging in fear and woundedness and shadowness and all of this, that choose to do nothing about it, are being puppeted around by that larger group of energy that does not wish to see it happen. Now, do these people as individuals know that they're taking part of this? Do they know that they're doing this? Very, very, very few of them are aware of it. And it's just something that I want you to keep in mind, because on the world stage, whatever group name you want to give to that entity, they are very aware of it, and it's very intentional. But it is trickling down to those wounded, fearful people that have no idea why they're lashing out at you. They have no idea why they can no longer see eye to eye with you. They have no idea why your mere presence agitates them, okay? Because that larger group is creating something that also has to be disengaged from, because it is feeding people individually. It's the larger group of control, manipulation, fear to stop the planet and its inhabitants from ascending is trickling down to people that are in a state of fear and anger and resentment and trauma that don't even know what they're doing. Okay, they know what they're doing. Oh, I'm mad at her. I'm mad at you, and or what you did, whatever. So I'm going to get back at you. Okay, that's very 3D. That's very first grade, right? And these people are not in first grade, but that's how they're feeling it because of the trauma, because of the fear, because of all of that woundedness. They are unable to see that they are being puppeted by a conglomerate that wishes the light to be attacked by darkness. You can stand up to darkness verbally. You can go to court with darkness. You can get in a conversation with darkness. You can have an argument with darkness. It's not going to do anything but fuel the fire of hell. Okay, I think you guys know me well enough to know that I don't mean fire or the devil as a literal thing. Okay, in order for us to finish the story, that is the story that we wish, not what anyone wishes for us, not the world, not our parents, not our partners, the world that we came here to create, the life that we came here to create has to be renewed. And in this intensity of leaving it all behind, that means the only thing you have left is your faith that everything is going to be okay, that everything is working out for me, that everything is always working out for me, that help is on the way. We are the help. I think you know that. We need to get this video out to people so they understand that within ourselves, no matter how much you stand up for yourself against this trickle down energy that's coming, living, breathing, interacting off of this place of fear, we must hit the reset button on self and disengage from it. There's no other way I can say this, right? If you have a wheat allergy and you're getting too many calories, you got to put the cake down, okay? You can't talk to the cake. You can't say, please don't be glutinous. You're killing me. It doesn't work. The cake is what it is, okay? These people in fear are reacting, are being puppeteered by a larger group that wishes to usurp the planetary energy and spin it in a negative, non-conducive way. It's time to hit the reset button It's time to heal this. And as I said, there is no amount of talking, emailing, court documents. There is nothing that is going to make this energy back down that's coming from individual people in your life, because they don't know what's happening to them and they don't understand where it's coming from. And when you understand it, that that devil energy is coming from that wounded, deep, traumatic, grieving child that pulls all that negativity in, that allows and invites that person to compass through their life on negativity and charged dramatic events, you have to realize, in order to heal this, we have to disengage from it, because that devil energy, it will not dissipate as long as you are doing what you're doing and engaging with it. Now, there are things that are negative or not pleasant in 3D that, yes, we have to do. Yes, we have to maneuver through those things. And I'm not saying that we ignore or disregard all of that which is 3D. What I'm saying is, if you have one of these trickle down people in your life, in your family, in your workspace, the only way they're going to stop with you is if you disengage and turn your back onto all of this. And I realize that's incredibly intense, okay? I know many of you have moved out of crazy situations in the last couple months. I know many of you have gotten divorced in the last couple months. Many of you have extricated and cut off family in the last couple months. You have left abusive workspaces in the last couple months. The intensity of leaving it all behind. Yes, exactly. James says it's kind of like backflow or backfeed current. It is. Because in the rare chance that you are dealing with an individual, not a conglomerate that's trying to manipulate the planet, if you're dealing with an individual trying to manipulate or whatever they're trying to do to you, they don't know why they're doing it. Now, again, we can be angry, we can be sad, we can be grieving, we can be disappointed, we can be lots of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. We just have to look and see where that is coming from internally. When I'm speaking of devil energy, I'm not talking about a frequency that's going up and down, okay? I'm talking about continually living, breathing, feeling, interacting with grief, sorrow, disrespect, trauma, wounding, all of that. And for these people, the wound is the compass. The more you stand up to that wound within that human body, the more it will resist. Disengage and watch the dark energy in your life and on this planet fold in on itself. Okay? I debated for days whether to hold back, and I said a lot less than I initially was thinking I was going to, because this situation is so incredibly intense. I feel like there is nothing in my life that I'm in control of, except for my faith and my belief that I am protected, that everything is going to be all right, and that help is on the way. Thank you for being here. You are part of that help, and I love you for that. Bye.